Hello, this is Alex Gallardo, a student in computer architecture. I wanted to resubmit project one. Upon first submission, I realized that there were some errors within the Linux terminal, um, and I'm happy to say that they have been corrected, and I wanted to address it in a short video so everything was clear. In the original file, this is what it looked like. Um, it had a bunch of different things, um, and I want to point out what has changed in the new version, and I will want to show what it looks like on VS Code and the Linux terminal. So I want to cover each change. So I have them listed. I needed to test um, everything. I needed to test all outputs, so I needed some format to be able to switch between the sample file, and the test file. So what I ended up doing was at the end, I commented out uh, this input code as if this was running just a single file, a single input file, and I added it to a function here. Exactly the same thing. I just moved this into a function with a new input file. Um, so that's one change. Um, the next change um, was here. So when I originally defined the Lexer class, I had a um, I had something defined here. Uh, here I had an issue with the decode instruction. Decode instruction. But what it was a Linux issue specifically. I could show it originally, but it's it the it issue was that I was using the Lexer class before it was defined, so I removed the reference. That's it. It was a simple like a syntax issue. And additionally, in a similar manner, the class computer was defined before every before other classes such as memory, which depended on. So I moved that to the bottom here. So above simulation, I have computer. I moved it to the bottom, so memory and processors, everything's defined above, which was also a Linux issue. I assumed that the um, that the class would be generated beforehand, but it seems like it was interpreted. But I mean that makes sense. But um, I did not consider that for the Linux build because it built perfectly with my VS Code, and I want to show you the results right now. So those were the changes. I had changed nothing about the actual operations. If you want to see them, they are right here in the execution unit. Um, and this is what they look like. I have changed nothing about the operations, and I'm very thankful to say that after testing, um, they do produce the correct files. So on my own test cases, they all run and they all produce the correct output. But I will show you within the Linux terminal, just for clarity, um, or for transparency, really. So I will get rid of the simulation and disassembly text files because those will be generated. Uh, and I will copy this is the exact folder I'm in. Uh, and I will copy my vsim. I will delete this vsim and I will copy that there. Perfect. Um, this is not the original, it's a new version. And I'm going to run these operations here, instructions rather. And here's my command file. So I'm going to execute here. It produces some text, but doesn't really matter. We're looking for the file. Uh, so it produces two files, which is great. We will go back to the command line and we will diff these two files. Uh, Sorry, well, this is because I'm comparing to disassembly and simulation. Of course, it's going to happen. Um, this is assembly. Let's see if this works. There you go. It works. Nothing was output, which I'm very happy about. Simulation and simulation, this should have a similar effect, which is awesome. I'm very happy. And if I compared it without the new test, it should produce something wrong. Yep, it produces everything wrong. Uh, But if I produce it correctly first, perfect, it ran, it created new files, then it should now print, well, well, once again, I tested against the simulation. Assembly. There you go, that's one. And then we have the simulation. I already should copy that better. Here too. Perfect. So that's done. So as you can see, there's no difference. I'm very happy to say I didn't have to make any other changes. And so I wanted to mention one last change regarding the output. There was in the simulation text, there was an output um, new line at the very end. So my tests were not passing because there was one new line at the very end. So what I ended up doing, the new one, I had a comment out a slash new line, right? I had a remove suffix slash n, uh, or an escape character, and in this one I ended up commenting that out, so the output was exactly the same. There's no difference. And after that, it just worked, which I'm super happy about. I hope you could see that it works, and if you have any questions or you want to see my tests, please let me know. I understand that I submitted this late, and but I would really appreciate um any points because there was the only changes were the Linux changes really, and like in like the formatting issue. There was no actual like instruction issue, which I'm super happy to say. Yeah, really cool project. I wanted to make a video so you had evidence, and and in case I come to you and there's a problem. So thank you so much and take care.